Hello, Ryan here, aka Mac, and welcome. Today we're doing a bit more just casual gameplay. We are back at Astor's clearing with my vulture. We have a crime stat, but that's not really a real crime stat. I can't seem to pay a fine and get rid of it. I had a 2 crime stat, I paid it, and that's remained, so I don't know what's going on there. It must be a bug. But yeah, so today we're going to do more of this organic gameplay, just chilling out in the verse. I know a lot of people have been asking for it. So I would like to just continue on and see what we can find in the usual spots. Already there is a Corsair over in that direction, which we are yet to scan and find out about. But generally, it's going to be a little chilled chat about 323, the features that are coming in. Not in great detail, but maybe highlighting how some of these features, or many of these features, if not most, will change the way the game plays and feels, including what I'm doing here. So it's kind of just a nice, relaxed session, seeing what the verse offers me today while we go through some of these 323 features, because we've had a few more new additions revealed thanks to the roadmap update, which I have covered in a separate video, which you can check out on my list of videos. Let's just see where this Corsair is. 500 meters over in that direction. Let's go check it out. But yeah, the latest features to be revealed. We had a bunch of them outlined on StarCitizen Live, which I will talk about a little bit today. But on the roadmap update, we've had reputation hostility. We've got the Mobiglass rework confirmed. We've got the item bank and unique item recovery, and cargo hauling missions, or updated cargo hauling missions. Oh, he's in a bit of a tight spot there. It looks like it might still be owned. I don't know if the guy's around. Yeah, I think it's still owned, otherwise it would have come up with game rules already. I've only just logged in, so I haven't looked around Astor's to see if anyone's doing some shopping. No, never mind. It's not for us. I wonder if he's here anywhere.
Rear impact warning. Front impact warning. Deck
I don't see him.
warning. Starboard impact warning.
It's a beautiful day here on Microtech. But yeah, let's get off to Dunborough, see if we can find anything over there, just the usual kind of gear. So yeah, these new additions. We've got the hostility for reputation, which is basically locations, even maybe somewhere like Astor's clearing, maybe not initially, but all of these sorts of locations will have people living at them, gangs specifically, so the Nine Tails, Dusters, Xeno Threat, and all that kind of stuff. And you can earn reputation with them, or bad reputation with them. If you kill one of their people, then word will get around and you'll get attacked, maybe on sight. And yeah, I think it's important to point out that as much as initially when this reputation hostility comes in, you may kill a Ninetales at one location and then they instantly, all Ninetales instantly know that you're an enemy. But in the future, I know they want to make it so that it is communication based. So this is the whole point of having comm arrays and data runners, you know, the data running ships like the Herald, the MSR, where, you know, information can be intercepted. So they have data running ships so that it can be, well, less likely intercepted if you're good enough. But the idea being is that it should be, and I expect it to be, eventually, word of mouth. So they can communicate between themselves. They will have, you know, the same sort of systems that players will have, and that information will be passed down from Ninetail to Ninetail until it reaches a certain location. But that's not to say that everywhere should instantly know that you are hostile, but I think initially that's what will probably happen. But this means that you can earn reputation with gangs and work with the gangs, which is something we've been waiting for a long while for a lot of pirates, people who want to side with Ninetails during these events or Xeno threat. And this will allow that kind of thing to happen. So it's quite a big deal, and it also plays, you know, not necessarily into gangs, but also on the side of corporations. There might be two corporations who are, you know, legitimate corporations, but have beef with one another, and if you do something for one of them, you might not get an opportunity with the other, if that makes sense. No, there's nothing here either. I must be jumping in way too often and just taking everything that I find. Now, I was checking down by the rivers as well, because I was told that people often have like a community meet at places like Dumborough and the riverside locations. So you just never know where you're going to come across a ship. So we might just scoot around where these rivers are, a bit further down here, see if we find anything else. The Mobiglass rework was a new one added. We know that's going to be the case. Well, it was looking more likely anyway, because there are so many Mobiglass updates that it's only inevitable that the main screen rework and a few of the apps were getting updated as well. But what's really exciting about the Mobiglass getting its update is that it allows for more Mobiglass apps, which mean bounty hunting apps, cargo manifest apps, and so many others, all tying into gameplay, giving us a lot more context for the jobs and the missions, allowing things like bounty hunting to expand. Being able to, you know, be notified if a known criminal is in your area, or if a known bounty is in your area, and then accessing the information about them, where they can be found, where they were last spotted, and it leading on from there. And things like a hauling app or a cargo manifest, being able to check your hold, being able to check the prices in a trading app. There's so much more opening up to having the new Mobiglass beyond just the new Mobiglass. So that is a good win there, and as I say, it means they can open up so many more different apps. The item bank and unique item recovery is one that I know a lot of people have been waiting for. The item bank, I believe, is more to do with being able to store things that you can access in other areas. So you can have this small little box for FPS items where you can put stuff in at a landing zone or somewhere, and then if you go somewhere else, you'll be able to access that. It won't be storing everything. You won't be able to put vehicles in there, fly to another system and access the vehicles. It is more just for items, FPS items. And then the item recovery, this is more for subscribers, people who buy items from the website if, they don't have enough time to play and they just want to have gear immediately. That stuff will be accessible again once, if you lose it in the verse, you'll be able to jump in and access it again from this kiosk. As I said in the video, that there's going to be a cooldown to it. I know it's items that you've paid for and you should get access to them. They should never allow you to not get access to them. But there will be a cooldown associated so that you can't just keep respawning these weapons and handing them out. It just doesn't make sense that you can do that. So there will be some cooldown. How it will work is yet to be seen, but this is also slated to come in for 323. And then the final one on the roadmap, these rocks are so weird. They're kind of cool, but definitely a geometry glitch. And they've fixed them, they've come back. I guess it might just be server-based, I don't know. But yeah, the last one that was on the roadmap that was new was the cargo hauling missions. Which, if you've seen my recent video talking about how cargo hauling is going to expand big time, you will already kind of know where this is going. Let me just head off to Harper's. As cargo updates are going to be big this year, with the freight elevators found at other locations as well, our hangars being able to store things. We've got, what else is there? Distribution centers. They are really expanding on the cargo profession, making it into a profession of all scales. Now, this card particularly just points to larger scale missions, So large quantities of of SEU being taken maybe further afield with better reputation gains as well. But I do hope it also means smaller scale ones like I outlined in the video. You know, small van-like vehicles, ships to trucks to ocean liners, and everything in between. Anyway, let's get off to Harper's and I'll come back then.
Quantum drive is now off.
Well, just tried Harper's Point. Didn't find a single thing there, so we've come over to Ghost Hollow. Don't recommend coming to this sort of location, especially solo. You'd really need someone covering your back when you get here, because it's a known sort of PvP hotspot. But if there's nobody here, there is often ships here to salvage, so we'll see how we get on. I may regret it. Yeah, so as I say, cargo hauling, item recovery, item bank, Mobiglass, rework, and reputation hostility. All new things also slated for 323. But as we know, EVA's come in. That is going to make all space-based interactions while in EVA just so much more fluid, better, easier to navigate. Cannot wait for that one. Personal interaction system is going to impact everything. Every single button that we press on our ships, the weapons and items we interact with. Hey, we've already got a hit here. An SRV, in fact. Interesting. Now, I'm not a big fan of having constant... Oh, and a Santokai. Not a big fan of having the F everywhere. I do hope that that is not something that we see just continuously on everything. Cutlass Black as well. As I say, good spot for coming to salvage, but you've got to be careful. I wouldn't recommend doing what I'm doing here. But I tend to come in and I just check. So we've got an SRV, a Hurricane as well. I just tend to check if someone comes in, I may dart away. And a little Rambler. Let's just check this. Oh my god, there's so much here. An Arrow, an MR. Let's stick to this Cutlass for now. Keep out of the bulk of it. Look at all these ships just waiting to be salvaged. Surely one of these is still occupied by players. Doors are closed.
Impact warning.
Let me get around here so we're not confusing signals with other vehicles.
Deck impact warning.
Yeah, the interaction system is going to just really polish up every single interaction in the game, which is going to make it feel more fluid, a lot smoother and less annoying, especially when it comes to... Oh, it's fair trade. Especially when it comes to things like... Oh, its shields are off. Ah, interesting. Okay. Let's just scan it and see if there's any cargo on board. Yeah, especially when it comes to interacting with bodies and looting bodies, because right now it's really difficult to do that. And I always end up doing the wrong thing. In fact, I was getting rescued by a Ruski the other day at this location, and he accidentally pulled off my chest piece. He pulled off a med pen when all he was trying to do was just pick me up, I think. Okay, it doesn't look like there's any cargo in, but let's just scrape the hull while we've got the opportunity. We'll get one abrade, one cinch. There we are, nice. I don't know why they'd leave their shields off. It might be a new player, perhaps. But yeah, if you are new, when you land at any location, turn your engines off. That'll help stop your ship from blowing away. Leave your power on, leave your shields on, and shut your doors. Always close your ramps, always close your doors. I'm doing myself an injustice here. Unless you're going to leave it for me to salvage, close everything, keep your power on, keep your shields on. That's the best way to ensure, not ensure because there's still ways to get inside, but that's the best case scenario for you. Anyway, what else we got? The star map. Now that is going to be a godsend. Not just because it makes the star map and navigating the universe so much easier, but mostly because, well, for me anyway, you can leave a way marker somewhere. So I could tow all these things to a different location. I could put a way marker down. Or if you're just in the middle of nowhere and you find a point of interest, something you want to go back to, a load of minables, you can put a marker down and then return to that location, even if it didn't have a quantum marker. You know, like you'll be able to find it again, which is something that we have been dying for a long time, because it opens up a lot of gameplay for group play, orgs, and solo play. So really happy that that's coming in. We've got a lot of vehicles here. But I think if you're joining in, especially for the free fly today or this week, that what you're playing right now is going to change massively when 323 comes out, which is slated currently for the for April. I mean, the Q1 patch usually releases around April anyway, instead of its expected date of end of March. So it's not like it's anything new, but it could go on longer. You know, with all these features, it could be a little later than that. So keep that in mind. But we will start seeing more about these features on Inside Star Citizen. I think this next week we're going to be learning more about the distribution centers. They're going to be pretty insane to see planetside, let alone actually go and interact with. And as we have heard, there's going to be multiple missions associated with them of cargo types of all sizes, and, you know, maintenance and other types of missions that we will see players coming and going there all the time. Like, you could be going there to pick up some cargo, you land there, or you're on your way in, you see other players leaving with cargo, players coming in to do maintenance missions. While you're there driving the cargo out of the distribution center towards your ship, you might see players doing the same thing, passing them on the roads while they're driving their cargo to and from their ship. They're just so cool, but it is just the surface area of the distribution center. So that includes a little bit of an interior on the surface, nothing underground. Things like the admin offices and reception. Reception is where you can go and drop off boxes and deliveries, pick up missions, earn reputation with. And then the offices, again, you probably go in further and drop off some, you know, important information to people inside. But eventually they're going to expand on a huge scale. If you've seen, or if you haven't, I do suggest checking out some of the underground Inside Star Citizen episodes, or the one from, I think, CitizenCon maybe last year or 2 years ago. I think it was Underground, no, not Underground Playground, that was one of the Inside Star Citizens, but it is essentially, it's all the concept art of where they envision taking these underground bunkers to, or underground facilities, with very deep depths. Elevators, cargo elevators, taking you all the way down to the very bottom. That's not, the interiors are only going to be small to start with, but they will expand. And it sounds like we're going to get quite a few of these distribution centers dotted around Stanton for all different types of gameplay, companies. One might be a militarized location, which, you know, you'll need permission to go to. It might be dangerous going there if you don't have permission. Pirate activity can happen there. They'll be looking out for haulers. Might have to start hiring some escorts, but also raids and FPS missions there as well. It is going to be a ton of fun. And as I say, this coming up on next Thursday, depending on when you're watching this, we will learn more about them and the missions associated with them. Cannot wait. So we're going to see how much we can scrape of this hull. If you're having trouble with your Vulture where your filler station isn't filling up, it could be that you need to basically destroy your ship and then reclaim it. It is a known bug. Hopefully mine's still filling. I think it is. It is a very irritating bug with the Vulture right now. I don't know if it happens with the Reclaimer. Yeah, it's still filling up, look. 1.3. But yeah, that's the only workaround that I know of, unfortunately. So if you've claimed it, if you've got your Spawn Jaw Vulture for the first time, you have to destroy it and respawn it again. Oh, I hope they find a fix for that soon. And I need a fix for the Greycat SRT dedicated salvaging tool so that we can sell the containers of RMC like we can with the multi-tool. Was really hoping to be able to do that on launch. In fact, we've got a player ship there, look. There he is. In an Aurora Emma K-Teskin. How you doing, bud? Not a threat, I wouldn't say so. Even if he did start attacking me, I'll either be able to fight back or get out of here quite safely. If it was something like a Cutlass, though, then I'd be a bit concerned. Yeah, I suppose Master Modes is quite a polarizing subject. I'm excited for it. I've had a bit of a play. I think, as I've been saying in the past, let's just wait and see how it goes once we've got the majority of the features in and we're all able to test it on scale before we make our minds up. But give it time. Give it enough time to properly test it. Let's not make any assumptions just yet. But I've had a go on the Master Modes Pirate Swarm. Really enjoyed it. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that evolve and seeing the ships get more unique to their role, while also seeing the different damage types and weapon types coming out, the balancing. It is nice to see this stuff getting to a bit more of a finalized state, I suppose. Probably not the right way of putting it. What else have we got? I suppose freight elevators, personal hangars, they're an important one. The personal hangars, when you choose your main landing zone, your first initial landing zone, that's where your personal hangar will be. It's instanced, but it's personal, so you can decorate it, you can do with it as you please, store things where you want. You have, you know, unlimited time in there. You don't have to worry about getting out quick. And the instance, oh, and your freight elevator, of course, where you can store anything you want in there. So I could spend a lot of time filling up with RMC, dropping it off in my freight elevator, and storing it in my global inventory at the landing zone. And then when I get enough, I could fill up whatever hauling ship I've got or rented to take it all in bulk to a location. Hopefully seeing the economy change as well, with a bit more of a fluctuation in prices based on supply and demand. That'll be nice. But yeah, these instance hangars, as I say, you'll have your personal hangar, which is at the main landing zone. That is yours. You can do with it as you please. And then there'll be instance hangars found around the other location. So if I flow off to Port Tressler, I would be given an instance hangar there, where I could spend as much time as I need loading my ship up with cargo, getting it set up and ready and for the mission at hand. But it isn't my own hangar. I can't decorate it as you can your personal hangar. But it is a way of removing the traffic. So if there's a lot of players coming and going to a certain location with limited hangars, they need to make, instead of having us all queuing, they will just instance them all. So you will be given a hangar every time, and you'll be able to do what you need to do for as long as you need to. Doesn't seem to be anything over there. Okay. But there are two major features coming in that will essentially give us a home, a base, a place to call home where we can go and log out in, live in, relax, wait for our friends, get set up for missions at hand, which is going to be important for Star Citizen. Something people might not realize is there's an intention for things in terms of preparing, getting properly prepared for a mission at hand, and swapping out the items that you want for FPS, for your ship, so that you are best suited to the job at hand, rather than just jumping in a ship and going off and doing everything in one ship. Obviously, if you have one starter ship, you are limited to what you can do, but the idea being you can go and rent or purchase in-game other ships. But there should still be plenty to get on with. Oh, the character creator is another one as well that I'm looking forward to. It's not a major deal, I wouldn't say, for most. It's not like a ton of gameplay coming in with it, but I cannot imagine what it's going to be like when we're walking through landing zones or meeting people in the, around places, and seeing just how unique they look, how individual they are, instead of a bit of a... I mean, it's not bad, but it's not great, is it? So I am actually really excited for that. I did get my head scanned, for those that don't know, at a CitizenCon in 2017. I was very lucky to get that. I don't think they really wanted me to, but I did a charity event, so they might have felt a bit forced. And I'm hoping they've kept my head and all the scans like that, so that I can eventually play as myself. I will have to ask them, but yeah, I'm also quite excited to see if I can find my own face. Whether there's a preset that they will be able to give me, or if I have to literally go through and try and find my ears, my cheeks, my nose. I think that would be somewhat an impossibility, but we'll see. I think one of the other big benefits that are with 323, that is a lot of benefits. Let's just see if we can flip this. I don't think we're going to be able to, though. Is all the FPS updates. There's a lot of changes coming to FPS, and if you've tried to do FPS, it's getting better. Yeah, mass exceeded. It's too big. Oh well, let's Let's get my gear down and see if I can just scrape the underneath. There's a bit more to scrape. I would rather stick to RMC more than anything, but I'll do the server a favor and get it off. Let's do that now. There we are. Yeah, so FPS-wise, you know, aside from the interaction experience, which is going to make it so much nicer, being able to pick up and interact with any weapon or item, looting much better, the quick loot screen as well. You've got all the reloading changes. Whoa, we're a bit close. Oh no, I was too close. No. Okay, let's try and chase that. In fact, hang on, come here, you. Oh, I can just scrape it from there, can't I? Yeah, so the reloading changes are being able to repool your ammunition. If you've got multiple magazines with 5 rounds in, you'll repool them all into, say, 1 magazine, so you have a full magazine. That's just, it's going to be more of a quick action where you might see a slight animation with your character, but eventually they may go to a more physicalized version of it, which would be nice. Also, reloading from backpacks takes a bit longer than it would if you've got it on your, you know, equipped to your body, but it still gives you access to that ammunition instead of having to open up your inventory and deal with it. We've got the new dynamic crosshair, which is nice. It's interesting, but for me, it's not something I'm too fussed about, but I do like that it is going to be contextual to the what do I do here? Yeah, we'll just take it all and unload it all. It's fine. The fact that we're getting more contextual equipment, helmets that are for combat and other elements. And in terms of armor, what we're going to see is, you know, combat armor as we know, light, medium, heavy, and so on. Spec Ops armor, which is more specialized military stuff like stealth armor and maybe hiding signatures and other types of Spec Ops style armor. Utility, which is more for industrial stuff like mining, salvaging. In fact, let's just is there more to scrape there? Yes. Oh no. So yeah, more to do with supporting industrial gameplay, being able to do salvaging stuff better and getting more information and context and support for that. Hang on a minute, I'm being an idiot here. Let's just get rid of it all and I'll unload it. And support as well, so being able to support things like FPS, so carrying magazines and ammunition for your fellow troopers, carrying more med pens and things to support in the medical profession. And then there's also going to be pilots, which is a new one that they've added, which makes sense. It's essentially, you know, your turn it off. There we are. I'm just going to go away and unload all this stuff so that it's out of the buffer. So I think what we're going to see there is armor, or not necessarily armor, but clothing or undersuits that are more suited to pilots, you know, keeping the G-forces down so they can handle more Gs with the amounts of G-forces that they're incurring when they're racing. And all of these types of armors will range in variety from either something like light, medium, heavy, uncommon, legendary, and they all range in variation to what they can do and how well they protect you and how well they support that type of gameplay. So not all that's coming in 3.23, but the contextual helmets are something I've been looking forward to for a while, where you know, you have a combat helmet, it'll help and aid in combat. You try and go mining with that, it's not really going to tell you much about what you're mining or help you find any minables, but if you had a mining helmet, vice versa. So, again, picking and choosing the right outfit. And some people might not like it, I get it, but this is what Star Citizen has always been about, is thoughtful gameplay, emergent gameplay, where you're supporting each other with the various outfits, picking the right one to use, so that you have a range of people all capable of doing something and helping. And, yeah, picking the right tools for the job. Right, are we far enough away, do you think? Let's put it down here. Do I have my landing gear down already?
Landing gear up.
I did. The new scopes are coming in as well, which is taking scopes that we have now and making them modernized, that more like something on Tarkov,
Front impact warning.
where they look very nice. And this ranges from all types of scopes. You've got reflex scopes, you've got zoomed scopes, you've got red dot sights, telephotographic, I don't know what the term is, but they will be damaged by distortion or EMPs. What else is there? Visor and lens update will also help with combat, giving a bit clearer contextual information. The minimap will help when you're trying to figure out where you are in the verse. Let's get that one. There we go. What else is there? Obviously the looting UI. There's so much more, and none of it's coming to my mind. But I suppose essentially what I'm saying is 3.23 is going to be night and day different to what we currently have. And it's going to be for the better. And I look forward to trying it all. I just realised we're not in like armour or anything. We're just in our clothes, which is nice. Yeah, so it's really going to change up what we have in many areas. And, you know, if all of it comes out, then great. If some of the features outlined comes out, that's great as well. It'll all come when it's ready. A shame that the replication layer is now slated for 3.23's branch, not necessarily the release of 3.23, but sometime after. That is a shame. But it's still an essential piece of core tech that it needs to take the time it needs to get done. Right, I'm just going to unload all these, and then we'll be back. heading back to Ghost Hollow. See if I can fill up the buffer again before we leave, as it's been okay over here at the time being.
Contact.
Oh no, we've got an enemy cutlass. Okay, we are not going to engage with that. I think it's time to head back. Is there two? No, there's one. Yeah, we're getting out of here. Can't be taken on cutlass. This is cutlass sight. But yeah, I think also it's quite interesting what Jared was saying about there being more to be announced with 323. There is two enemies there. Oh, Olive Russell. So there's two cutlass there. Two enemy NPC cutlasses. I hope that Aurora got out of there. Otherwise, he's doomed. If I was to guess that one of them, I would say maybe a creature, a four-legged predator-style creature, or a Kazi grazer cow, which is not a predator, but there's so much more that we haven't even heard about yet. Anyway, let's get on to Astor's. Yeah, I suppose for me personally, things like the freight elevators, the distribution centers, they're cool and I'm very excited for them. Same with the star map. These big features that we've been needing for a while, they're definitely my sort of top features that I'm looking forward to, but also just getting the game feeling polished in all areas, interactions, FPS, EVA, everything that's associated with just the day-to-day playing of the game. Getting any of that fixed up and smoother is just a big win. And if this is the first patch of the month, sorry, of the year, God knows what it's going to be like by the end of the year and where we will be. If they can get any of those in for 323, what we're going to see for the next patches. Obviously the cadence of quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4 might be somewhat flipped up this year, with there being, again, core tech to roll out like we saw last year, server meshing and so on. So it will be different, but ultimately any and all of these features that come in will make the game so much more playable and just more enjoyable. And that's what I'm here for. And if they can get it so that teaming up with other players as well is a lot smoother and easier with the party system, less desync, then I will certainly be doing a lot more gameplay. What the hell was I target locked there? But yeah, so this is a bit of a waffle day again. I know some people don't mind these sorts of videos, so I thought, you know, in between my usual content, I wanted to put out some more of this organic gameplay, just chill out in the verse, show you what I'm still doing this. I'm still jumping in regularly, living around Astor's clearing, and thoroughly enjoying it. In fact, there's more trees here. This is a lot more lush than it used to be, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, you know, doing this with all of these other features that come in is just going to be such a blessing. And as I say, that's not everything that's been outlined. I've not even spoken about all the features that we know are coming, like the dynamic event changes, or the gimbal changes, everything to do with master modes. There's so much coming in that I am very, very excited to see displayed on inside Star Citizen Live, seeing it come along. Not to mention they're planning to kick off base building work this quarter, quarter 1, so around the end of March. They should start working on the base building feature, which, seeing any of that progress this year is gonna make my eyes water. I cannot wait to see, or just understand more of what's coming. I'm not expecting to have anything base building this year, maybe small aspects. As I say, I'm not really expecting that, but getting anything base building would be great. But seeing what it all means, how crafting is going to work, what types of things we're going to build, how we're going to be doing it. Like, will I be able to fit a surveyor tool in the back of my Vulture and then roll it out somewhere over in these woods and create a small shack where I can just live out my days? That sounds like bliss. But yeah, thank you as always for watching. This is just, as I say, a small waffle video with some gameplay, just showing what I'm doing. If you are new to the verse, do check out my previous gameplay videos. It does kind of show an alternate way to playing the game that you might not know about, because it's more of what is intended with the finished version of Star Citizen, where you're probably seeing people mostly just doing combat or missions and rinse repeating that to try and earn cash to get ships. Living in the verse, like at places like this one, is so much fun. Might not be for everyone, but it's certainly for me. And if you want to see, or if you have any questions about Star Citizen, or you just want to hang out and chat about 323 and all the cool features that are coming, I can hear a weapon. Then do head over to twitch.tv/SuperMacBrother. You are more than welcome over there. And as I say, if you are new and you've got any questions, or if you're coming back to Star Citizen after some time off and you have any questions, it's very confusing, that sound, then by all means ask away. I don't mind. It is a great place to get your questions asked and answered, because I'm live for 4 hours and you can chill out and hang out with us all. Anyway, hit the thumbs up if you don't mind, does the channel a big favour. Tick the notification bell if you would like to be notified when my videos go live. A huge thank you to all of my patrons and channel members for all of their continued support. I cannot do this without you guys. Thank you so much. And thank you for getting my channel over 60,000 subscribers strong, and over on Twitch 18,000 followers. That is phenomenal. I hope you all have a great day, and I will see you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.